Disclaimer, if you are triggered by divination, astrology, tarot, and worldly discussions, this channel is not for you. Please. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Wisdom and Light here, and I am back with another psychic reading. We're going to be reading on Derrick and his wife. So if you guys don't know about this story, he happens to be a dating life coach, and he was offering advice for a while now about just, men needing to step up, cheating and how wrong it is, how to treat your woman, how to uplift your woman. So he was basically speaking from a straight male standpoint on how to treat your wife, how to treat your girlfriend, and why cheating and certain things that men do is wrong and how it affects the woman. And for a very long time, he grew a very big following and, saying God this and praise that, and only to find out that he was cheating on his wife, and the excuse was, well, we were separated, but we're back together now and we've worked past it. The reason why so many people are coming at him is just really because there were interviews that were done with, I believe, the mistress. I didn't watch too deeply into it because I don't really need to know all the details, guys. That's just how I feel. I just don't care to dive in and read yet another story of somebody who is saying one thing and doing another. So I'm not really interested in knowing the ins and outs. But from what it looks like, he cheated, and now it caught up with him. So we're just going to be doing a reading on how it's going to unravel and unfold. A lot of people have been hitting me up, so that's why we're doing this reading. And if you're new here, welcome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and stopping by. It's morning time for me, but it can very well be afternoon when this is uploaded, or it could be uploaded the next day. It just all depends on how fast these videos upload. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know that you guys love these celebrity readings and just my intuitive insight on it. And let's begin. So we're going to be using my Mermaid Tarot deck, followed by my Botanical Garden Oracle and my Wisdom, what is it called? Universal Wisdom Oracle. And this is one of the first decks that I ever used in my journey. So it means a lot to me, but I specifically chose this deck because I really want to grab messages from the divines and angels regarding this situation. We have the Two of Cups that shows up for Derrick and his wife. I honestly, at first I didn't want to do this reading, but a lot of people were hitting me up and I'm like, I don't really like his vibes. I never really liked him. I always saw through the bullshit. I always saw through the glass house. Okay. So I just didn't care to do it. Like another man pretending. Oh, we have the Lovers. Another man pretending. I just wasn't interested. But you know something, I said, let's talk about it. Let's talk about a topic like this. And maybe some of the things I'm going to say is going to be the harsh reality of marriage and being in relationships and what we say is the right thing and what's actually happening, or what we're supposed to do, but we do the opposite. Yeah, we're going to talk about all of that. But so far, I'm already getting the Two of Cups and the Lovers. And I got the Page of Swords, followed by the Devil card. Okay. Pull up some more cards. The Two of Pentacles. A lot of twos. The Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles. I'm going to put that right there. The Page of Wands. Okay, Two of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, and okay, the King of Wands, followed by back of the deck energy is the Magician. So we're going to just focus on these cards right here. Back of the deck energy is the Magician. And again, keep in mind, I didn't take the time to look at interviews that he's done since then. I haven't really tapped in on all of that information. So I'm really just going off of what I'm seeing in the cards. I don't really have much background
I'm really going off on what I'm seeing in the cards. I don't really have that much background knowledge because I've just completely detached myself from topics like this, but we're here, right? This wasn't an affair where this is like some fast woman that threw himself at him and he had like a little whoops and he did what he did with her because him and his wife were separated. This is looking like an affair. And there was intimacy and love with this other woman. So this isn't no, I just met her down the street, I was drunk, or I was at a party. What do you mean met her down the street? But I'm just trying to come up with scenarios that they be getting themselves into to trip, fall, and land in somebody else's box, but whatever. This looks like an affair, a love affair at that. This wasn't what he's making it out to be. Okay, guys, this was a full-blown affair. I do feel that when he met her, it was like finally somebody that gets it, somebody that understands, because I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that. And here's another thing. Why did you and your wife separated? It can't be because you guys were bickering. It can't be that. No, they separated because of this affair. And what I'm also seeing is this woman, she's been in and out of his life for quite some time now. If that's the case, why didn't she marry her? Again, I'm going to save my opinion towards the end of this damn reading because every time I say I'm not, it comes out and I'm like, don't say nothing, just do the reading. Page of Swords, the Devil card. And also, he got married way too soon. You know something? I would have appreciated it if, let's say, he wasn't married at all. And he's just ranting about what men need to do by their wives. You know, I would have felt comfortable if he wasn't married. Because when I tell you the hypocrisy is what I can't get over, and I'm really just doing this reading because I love all of you, this is what I'm talking about. Just, if you're not ready for that type of commitment, don't commit to it. And I hate to say it, but a lot of the reasons why he got married was because it's the right thing to do. And that's another thing with men or society. I don't want to just put this on men. We're like pre-programmed to say, okay, I want to get married and have kids because I'm older now and that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Just because a woman is ready for that, that doesn't mean that the man is ready for that, or vice versa. We've put so much immense pressure on us to procreate, to get married, and to commit to stuff that we're not ready for. And that is the problem. And I feel that back in the day, we got married not only because, yes, there's love there, but it was about protection and security. Let's not act that marriage was always for love. That's not the case in most situations. A lot of it has to do with what can you give to me? This is exactly what I said in the last reading with Quavo and Saweetie. They're not married, no, but I was talking about how, whether we like to admit it or not, we use each other for positive reasons. And if the energy is in exchange, we can actually use each other for negative reasons if it's not exchanged properly. So this is the perfect example of energy not being exchanged properly because either both people are not being honest with themselves or one person is ready for it and one person is lying saying that they're ready for it. With the Devil card and the Page of Swords here, he wasn't ready to get married. Now, this is not to say that he doesn't love his wife because there's love for him and he loves both of them in their own special way. She's always been in the picture, which is what I'm seeing here. Now, sometimes, and I'm not saying that's what the wife did, but sometimes women can know about this and still marry the man knowing he's emotionally unavailable. But I don't see that in this reading. I actually do feel that he did a very good job hiding it. He did a very good job pretending that he was ready when he wasn't. Okay? So that being said, the Devil card being here talks about temptation. So just because they got married, that doesn't mean that, oh, look at it, look. That doesn't mean that he wasn't looking, and that doesn't mean that he was being faithful. So this is not the first time. But do we need cards to prove that? No. But we're doing a reading on it, so that's why we're here. 2 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, King of Wands. So if you notice, I see nothing about the wife in this reading. I see him. He shows up as the King of Wands. I don't see the wife in this reading. I don't. I see we have to fix my image. We have to fix this. We have to start a new segment on how we bounce back from infidelity to help other married couples bounce back from infidelity. So what I'm seeing based on these tarot cards is King of Wands, action, passionate, let's get it, let's go. He is so focused on making this a situation where he can still turn lemons into lemonade. It's very similar to like Beyonce when she couldn't avoid the rumors that Jay-Z was stepping out of his marriage. And it's been happening for years. And rather than somebody breaking the story, you know what? Let me channel my pain into art and let me tell the story. And that's what Beyonce did with Lemonade, one of her best albums, in my opinion. One of them. I love Beyonce, her self-titled album, Beyonce. That's my favorite album. And Lemonade is like right next to it. I love all of her albums for their own special reasons. But those are the two that just do something to my soul, whereas the other albums that she has, they're very nostalgic for me. I love all of her albums, but those are the two that stood out. So circling back to Derrick, he's trying to have a lemonade moment. Not in the sense of dancing, not in the sense of singing and dancing, y'all. But definitely, I'm going to make this work in my favor. I'm going to profit off of this. And let's be honest, people profit off of bad news. People profit off of what's going on in the world. Let's be honest, a lot of YouTubers, including myself, when something bad happens, we talk about it. We share our opinion, and we can gain influence or attention from that because what we're saying or what the person is saying, there's truth to it. It resonates. Not only that, other people are going through the same thing. So hearing insight is an amazing thing. But he's definitely trying to turn this around. And with the Magician card being here, he will turn it around. He will. That doesn't mean he'll have the same influence that he did before. But just because the majority are doing this, that doesn't mean that a select few are doing this. And if you have a select few that are giving you a thumbs up and they're keeping you afloat, then there's nothing wrong with continuing this narrative on his part. So he's still going to have some supporters because, again, you have married couples that are going through this and they need someone who's openly going through this to talk about it. But had this never came out, would he have admitted to this? No. But he's being forced. Y'all thought that Beyonce just sat there and said, I want to start spilling my business and my music and I want to bear it all? If she could have kept it quiet, I feel she's private enough to say, you know what, let me just keep it quiet. But it just became obvious to where now I can do two things. I could drown in this or I could use this to empower me. That's what she chose. And I feel this is what's happening. He's choosing this to empower him. Now, I want to focus on the wife because everybody's saying it, but she looked fed up. She just looked like she was just sitting there saying what she needs to say so the bills can get paid. Okay, so let's see the wife. The wife also knows that she was always in the picture off and on. She's aware. She had a feeling. That's what I mean by being aware. And it came out, and that's when the separation happened. The separation didn't happen, and then he met her. No, I'm not seeing that. I don't care what they say, and that's probably the case. That's not what I'm feeling. Show me the right, the Three of Pentacles, the Two of Swords. This is an internal battle for her. The Ace of Cups, but she's just concerned about money. This is what's going to pay the bills, and it looks like She's seeing, and here's the thing. She is, it's like she's telling herself, I'm going to be okay with this. He apologized. I forgive him. Okay? But that doesn't mean that she doesn't feel broken inside, guys. She forgives. That's here. But is there a depression and sadness here? Yes. So, to end off this reading, because there's not much for me to say here, my prediction is he's going to turn lemons into lemonade and he's going to make this work in his favor. And I'm also seeing that there's going to be people that support it because they are very well in the same situation. He's going to lose a lot of people behind him, but he's going to gain some. This is all negative publicity and attention. So it's going to, in a weird way, benefit him, but it's still embarrassing nevertheless. I'm seeing that him and his wife are going to stay together because, again, it's more profitable for them to fix their issues rather than do what divorce and everything. And even though she has forgiven him, she can't get over the fact that he did what he did for so long. She's heartbroken by it. And there's a sadness here. And it almost feels like she's just existing. It feels like she's being a dutiful wife. She's being a queen to a king. So you know what? Now that I'm done with this reading, let's talk. And I don't mind just sharing my insight on this. And I've just been in deep thought this morning, just thinking. Not everyone will agree, but that's perfectly fine. And here's another thing, guys. It's okay to disagree with me. Perfectly fine. I'm not against people disagreeing with me. What I'm against is being rude. And there have been multiple times where people have said, hey, I didn't agree with this part. And we would have literally a deep conversation about it. Most of the time people do agree with my viewpoint, but I will always meet some that I wouldn't say they disagree, but they will be like, okay, but see it this way. So let's talk about it. The other day I was talking to a very good friend of mine, and we were talking about this topic. And I asked him, I said, don't take offense by this, but do you feel that men can be in monogamous relationships? Do you feel that it's possible for them? And no answer is the wrong answer. I really genuinely want to hear your insight on that. And he flat out told me, yes, I think it's possible, but we don't want to. And I said, thank you for your honesty, because I feel that way too. I don't feel that you guys want to be in a monogamous relationship. I feel that when you love someone, you make that sacrifice to be in a monogamous relationship. But if it was okay to be in a polyamorous relationship and the woman was for it, I feel that a lot of men will go for that option. But the problem is the woman that they want a monogamous relationship. And because he cares for her and he favors her the most, he's going to do that. But does he want that deep down? No. Does he love her? Yes. But does he want that? If he could have it his way, he probably would. And then we started saying, but you know what? There are men out there that do want to be in relationships where they're just with one person, because that exists. It may seem rare and we don't hear about it enough, but it exists. And I said, I agree with that too. It just seems like all of the cheating and the unfaithfulness is louder than the ones where they're in happy, stable relationships. And look at the situation with Derrick. His fans, because I always knew that he was full of shit, but a lot of people believe that he was this upstanding guy. And a lot of people didn't even know that he was married. A lot of people didn't even know that this man was married. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. A lot of us didn't know that Derrick was married. Like, if you're like constantly coming at men for making mistakes by their wife, there was never one moment that you uplifted your wife while you were doing what you were doing. Not once did I remember hearing about him talking about his wife, or I've never seen her on his timeline. And, okay, my private life is my private life. I don't want to share that. But for someone that was in other people's private lives telling them you're wrong for cheating and you're wrong for this and that, not once did you introduce us to your wife, or did we see her a lot. And now we know why, because if we were to see her, we would want to ask her questions. Are you happy with Mr. Perfect? See what I'm saying? Now I see her. This is the first time I've ever seen her. And this is not to say that he has never put her on the social media. And, you know, I don't follow him. So if you follow him and you've seen her before, okay. But me and a lot of people have never seen her before. So it's kind of like, of course we can't point the finger at you and hold you accountable and say, well, are you doing well by your wife? Because we never saw her. We didn't saw homegirl until yesterday. So circling back to the conversation, I'm like, yeah, there are men that exist that do want to be in monogamous relationships. They exist. I don't feel that there's a lot of them, but they exist. When I had my first boyfriend, guys, and he cheated on me, I ran to my mom and I cried. And I said, oh my God, mommy, I just found out that such and such is cheating. This is what I discovered. This is what I found out. Just so happened that all of my aunts were at the house at the time, the house that I grew up, they were all there. This happened around like my first year of college. And my mom, she was like, welcome to womanhood. Have a seat. Just like that. It wasn't no crying. All of the women just had like a little smile on their face. Some of them were sympathizing, but they were like, have a seat. And those women poured so much into me. They poured so much into me, and I will carry that conversation for the rest of my life. Those women told me, yes, a lot of them do cheat. A lot of them think with their little head and not with their big head. A lot of them lie to get what they want. A lot of them aren't being honest even with themselves. The only thing that will help you push through all of this is your self-respect for yourself and the love that you have within yourself. You have to walk in understanding that this could very well be the case. You walk in hopeful, but understand that this could be something that you go through. It is what it is. And I'm like, okay, but that's not fair. I would never do it to them. And my mom was like, okay. And that's good. But that doesn't mean that you're exempt from that. And my aunt, she told me, and you have nothing over the next woman. Let's talk about that too. Don't think because you look a certain way or because you're this and you're that it cannot happen to you. You're not exempt. What gets you through this is the self-respect that you have for yourself. You know something, growing up, I wanted to get married so bad. I wanted to be with my soulmate so bad. I wanted to be in love so bad. Because I felt that when I reached a certain age, that's what I needed to have. But now, guys, all I want is to be happy in the best way possible. And I feel like the older we're getting and the more that we're seeing that a lot of these men are just not ready for commitment like that, it's pushing us away from that idea of even wanting to get married. And this is not just about women. This is about men too. Men get cheated on. Men get lied to. Men are raising a child because they were told that the child was theirs, and then boom, 5, 7, 10, 18 years later, oh, the baby was never yours. They go through heartbreak. They go through things. A lot of people are not ready for that type of commitment. And the problem is we lie and say that we are, and we're not. We lie. Guys, my best advice is don't rush into it, please. Listen to your partner. Ask them what they want. Because what if they feel like they're trapped? What if they feel like they're doing this because you love it? But what about what they want, right? But sometimes men make that sacrifice because they love her. I rather just love her than even do what I really want to do. But then you guys get married, and now the problems are in the marriage, and now you're like, you know what? I didn't even want this 100%, but I loved her, but I want to do this and I want to do that. A lot of us are not ready. We think we're ready, but we're not. In this generation and going forward, there's a lot of things about the generation coming up that's really toxic, that there's just a lot of things that I've been seeing. But going forward, I just feel that it's important to be honest with ourselves and with the person that we're with. But no, I don't feel like a lot of people are ready for commitment, nor do I feel like people are even ready for marriage. I feel like we do it out of fear of losing that person. Because when you're truly and honestly ready, you can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't even think because you want to know that they're okay. I know a lot of men that are in very stable relationships that used to cheat like crazy. But he's so committed to her because that's who he loves. And that's how you know you're ready. Not because if I don't do this, she's going to leave. This really runs deep. I don't. You will know when somebody's serious, but for the most part, But then for some, it's in them. It runs deep, and you're taking a risk being with somebody. You're taking a risk marrying somebody. It's all a risk. But all of you, if both of you are on the same page and both of you love each other, then there's no problem. Guided message for the collective. Sorry guys, my camera died. But if anyone is dealing with infidelity and cheating, I deeply apologize because it's a bad feeling. It doesn't feel great. But my best advice to you moving forward is learn to be with yourself for right now. Learn to just be comfortable with solitude. Learn about yourself, heal from it. Take your time. There's no rush to jump into anything else. The love card is coming in. So when one door closes, another door opens. And we also have abundance. So sometimes everything happens for a reason. When we look at Derrick's wife, she's doing it to save their financial stability. But eventually she will pull away when it's time because she's going through depression. Abundance is promised if you take the time to love yourself and receive messages from the divine, to receive insight, prayer, all of that. But trying to fill the void by meeting another person, by dating, is probably not going to heal what's going on within yourself. So I say if you're dealing with that, take the time to love and learn about yourself. Another person is not going to complete you. You don't even know what the fuck the other person wants or what their intention is. You don't know that. So be with yourself right now. Take care of yourself. Why are we so scared of being alone? Why are we ashamed of being alone? There's so much power in that. We're so consumed with being with another person, and that other person is not ready for what you want. When you are truly, and I mean truly, investing in yourself, your person is going to come in. But your person is not going to come if you are constantly feeling like another person is going to complete you or make you happy. Because that's where you go wrong or I go wrong. If I'm thinking that somebody else is going to make me feel better about myself. Now that you're out of that, now that you're away from that, it's important to rediscover who you are on your own. And as you're doing that, as you're literally living your life and you're investing in yourself and not another person or an idea of what you thought you were going to have because of society and expectations, somebody just steps in and it all just starts making sense. And it won't feel like you have to sacrifice so much. It won't feel like you have to sleep with one eye open. It won't feel like you have to always wonder. It just feels like you don't have to try. And that is what I wish and pray for all of you, but it won't start until it starts with you. Straight up. It won't start until it starts with you. And a lot of you that are like going through that have to embrace this so better can come in and you're not attracting the same type of person. Okay? So let this be a lesson that all that glitters is not gold. Stop listening to these relationship gurus and listen to yourself. It's okay to grab advice from people here and there, but people are flawed and people make mistakes. And not only that, accepting the fact that everybody is not ready for a monogamous relationship can help you not have your expectations so high not rushing is also going to play a role in this, so you don't have to end up getting hurt. And not only that, if you are dealing with this, it's not for you to make it better, it's for you to just take the time to learn about yourself. If you're married and you're thinking about taking your husband or your wife back, that's your business, and whatever you do for you is what you need to do for you. Never going to judge anybody for taking back somebody that made a mistake in their marriage, an unforgivable mistake. Some people, that's their deal breaker, and then there's some people where it's not their deal breaker. But I feel a lot of this can be avoided if we are all being honest with ourselves and we are not rushing into things and we are paying attention to what they're not doing. Because if you can pay attention to what that person is not doing or saying by you, then you don't got to invest so much. Anyway, that's all I got for this reading. I don't want to spend too long on this topic, but I love you guys, and thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. And how did you overcome infidelity in your marriage or relationships? How did you bounce back from it? What did you do to heal yourself? Or are you still in the process of healing yourself? And how do you guys feel about me saying that most men don't really want to be in monogamous relationships? They just do it because they don't want to lose the person that they're with. And do you guys believe that there are men out there that do want to be in monogamous relationships? I'm excited for this discussion. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys later in my next video. Bye.